This is the moment we've all been waiting for the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
Welcome to another episode of the Chokeslam Wrestling Report. I am your host, the infamous Ultimate One from the Boogie Down Bronx. And as you see on the screen, we will be talking about Clash in Italy and what I thought and my take on this show, which I felt this was a rerun of some of the WrestleMania shows. And a lot of people gave this show a B+ and whatnot. I didn't think it was that great. I felt like there was some botches in the matches and whatnot. Cody winning, beating Gunther, and some controversy and whatnot, as we always see, knowing full well that WWE is going to run the same match again for some other show, whatever. But let's jump on it. Let's talk about what happened at Clash of Italy. Now, WWE, of course, trying to get subscribers to get into the ESPN Plus and spend $30 to this, what I would call, Clash of Italy Raw, because that's what I would call it. But it is what it is. What up, Justin, my guy? Thank you for sharing for showing up and supporting like always. And let me put it this way. This guy here, just in time. If you don't know this guy, this is the Redeemer. This guy is every day on Watch Along on the Circle of Debate. And I will be talking about him during the show. You know what I'm saying? This guy is the man right now. You know what I'm saying? But yes, Clash of Italy was not a show that I was crazy about because they started off with Gunther versus Cody. I get it. To bait people to go and subscribe to the ESPN Plus. The match was not that good to be. Is it me or Cody's getting boring as a world champion? Now, I see a lot of these things online when they talk about Cody's boring. Cody should not be the world champion. And I'm beginning to see that because he's doing the same moves over and over again. There is no new stuff. He does the Cody Cutter. Gunther, of course, he is a killer. He is a professional wrestler that I love watching. Now, the thing that bugged me out was, why would you have Gunther get pinned by Cody when this man just put 3 people in retirement, 3 legends. I mean, if you want to call Goldberg a legend, but three legends, retired them. He has not lost a match in God knows how long since he lost to CM Punk and whatnot. And all of a sudden, we turn around, we see him losing to Cody and whatnot. And it's like Steven says, this was a terrible finish. Thank you, Steven, for coming in. I appreciate you, bro. And it was a terrible finish. And you could tell that botched that fucking move because his leg was right under the ring. And then Cody went and lifted his leg up when I think the finish was supposed to be, or not even a finish, the referee was supposed to stop once he saw his leg there, but they didn't do that. And now you have Gunther losing to Cody. And the match was, if I believe, I see right here, 11 minutes and 35 seconds. We're talking about the world champion, and you're giving him 11 minutes and 35 seconds of a world title match. All because you're trying to get things through real quick and whatnot. If you look at it, they put this the first match of the show. And then they put it free on ESPN2. Again, to bait people to subscribe to ESPN Plus. This is how WWE works. They don't care about the fans. They're trying to get that money. And leaving Cody as the world champion. Cody has been a boring champion. since he won this title with Roman Reigns in WrestleMania 41, I think it was, or 40. If you look at it, he has not been. He doesn't defend the belt like he used to. He just boring. And I want to see the Cody that was in the independent shows, in the indie when he was with the elite and having these crazy matches in Japan. And again, and right now I was on YouTube and watching some other sport, some podcaster, which typical podcaster, apologetic because WWE sucks and whatnot, making excuses. Let's be real. If you're a WWE fan, you cannot tell me that you like Cody as a fucking world champion. I can't. You can't. Yeah. And it's crazy. Now, Justin says definitely one of the weakest Gunther matches. I feel like the finish was for sure a botch. Looked like Gunther was supposed to be on the top on the ropes when his leg went up and he completely missed it. And listen, Justin, this was not the only botch that we saw when it came to putting the foot on the rope. And we're going to be talking about that. And yes, it was one of the worst Gunther matches. And it didn't even look like I've seen Gunther matches where he's in there for a good 15, 20 minutes, just going out of sweat. He looked like he barely sweated in this match and whatnot. So it's like, and now they're going to run it again. We may get a 3-way now. You know what I'm saying? He's going to get caught up with Sami Zayn. They might do a 3-way with Sami Zayn, Gunther, because Sami Zayn right now, he's trying to play himself into the world title picture. Now you got Chad Gable back, so we may see them two go at it. But it's crazy. Judges say Cody's trapped when this vortex of all his feuds being repetitive. Yeah. But he hasn't been the Cody that we've been used to. You know what I'm saying? You know? I want to see this one. Steven says, not a good start begging people to get ESPN Unlimited with a terrible finish. Yeah. But this is what, I mean, WWE doesn't care. WWE doesn't care because even Nick Khan said it. He said they don't respond to social media and whatnot. And all they care is about making sure that people get hooked to this crap. And the people are just walking away. I mean, there's reports that SmackDown is under 1 million. Raw is looking terrible every fucking week. There's no way I can watch that shit. It's like I'm losing 3 hours of my life watching this nonsense. I'd rather watch it through, crazy. Sammy's getting on your nerves, but that's the whole point. He's doing his work. That's what he's supposed to do. But it's like repetitive. It's like watching WWE is like watching 2K26. Like playing the game. And we saw what happened on this past Sunday, matter of fact. When we saw Gunther lose. How the hell Gunther loses? This is the guy who retired three Hall of Famers. 3. He hasn't lost since he lost to CM Punk the title. And here we are looking him getting beat, and then he's trying to reach to the ropes. He can't reach the ropes. Oh, he's on his leg under the ropes, and the referee missed it. And now they're like, oh my God, and now we saw last night where he was bitching and moaning about he won another title shot, blah, blah, blah. They're going to run it again. I don't know what's the next, I think Night of Champions. They're going to run it again. Do not be surprised. It's going to be a 3-way. It's not. It might be. Just to say, if Sammy gets added, they'll use him as a sacrificial lamb to put the title on Gunther without actually being Cody. That's a good way to put it. I mean, now let's say they don't put Sammy. Then what? You're gonna have Gunther lose again? Because that's what we saw when he came to the main event on this Clash of Italy. You know what I'm saying? It was just mad. I don't know, mad stupid to me. Like, they're running matches from WrestleMania, which I think they should have done it in Backlash, but they didn't do it in Backlash. They did it at Clash of Italy. And let's be realistic. I mean, 11 minutes for a world title shot is straight freaking laziness. Then we had the Rhea Ripley versus Jade Cargill. Now, I knew Carghill was not, and I repeat, was not going to win the title. Because after she lost the title in WrestleMania, she said it in an interview. She said, I don't see myself as the world champion again because WWE's known not to put the title back on someone, back. And she said, I highly doubt it if I become world champion again. And then the word is Rhea Ripley's hurt. That is the word. And now, here's the part that I don't get. And somebody help me with this. How the hell is now Charlotte is about to get a title shot against Rhea? How did that happen? Who she beat to become number one contender for Rhea Ripley's title? You know what I'm saying? And then last night we had all this little buddy type shit, and then next thing you know, we see, a six woman tag. They do this shit every freaking week. And this is what I said about when I did my AEW Dynamite this week on my audio podcast. When you get the difference between shows, you have AEW who starts the show, maybe give you a 2 or 3 minute of what's going to happen in tonight's episode, compared to WWE where you have 15 minutes or 20 minutes of nonsense and friendship type of thing. Oh yeah, I love you. I want to get a shot at the title. That bullshit. And then to have a 6-man woman, and then have Jade Cargill get pinned Tiffany Stratton, the United States champion. You know what I'm saying? So it's crazy how you got Jade Cargill, who just lost to Rhea, pin the United States champion. You know what I'm saying? They had given up on Trish Stratton, the way I look at it. You know what I'm saying? So Steven said, doing the Cody versus Gun SmackDown in 2 weeks. Oh, are you serious? They're giving. Listen. I don't know how people could just watch this. I can't stand and watch 3 hours of this. I mean, I tried, and I can, because I know it's just lazy booking. And now they're putting Julia now they're gonna try to put Julia as a fan favorite. Because that girl James was about to cheat, and one of the girls, Jace, whatever her name is, and knocked her foot out. She thought it was Julia, and now they're gonna give this girl a babyface run. It's just, it shows you straight laziness. You know what I'm saying? Straight laziness. You can't. In reality, it's just like, we saw Jade Cargill pin Trish Stratton, right? Which these two, like, I don't know, they chemistry when it comes to wrestling each other is not there. Now we have her getting pinned in a 6-woman's tag match, and now he's talking about she's going after Rhea Ripley's title. How many times is this woman going to get a title shot? And not only that, to make matters worse, here comes Charlotte. Charlotte's about to get a title match. You know what I'm saying? It's just stupid. It just doesn't make no sense how this woman who hasn't been anybody has been tag teaming with Alexa Bliss, hasn't been anybody, contention wise, and now she's about to get a title shot. Good to get stipulation added. Good to announce it's next week and the title match in 2 weeks. Somewhere or the other, the stipulation, I can't see Cody losing the belt on TV. I can't. You know what I'm saying? He's probably going to lose it at Night of Champions. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Because now, like I said, I see Sami Zayn getting involved. Sami Zayn's getting involved and might still get involved, even though, Nick Aldis told him not to get involved. Sami Zayn does the opposite all the time. So, we can see that. But, again, going back to this Jade Cargill thing, pinning Tiffany Stratton, which, again, the United States title don't mean shit anymore in WWE. Am I wrong when I say that? Because you had the girl who just lost to Rhea Ripley pin the United States champion. The United States champion don't mean shit anymore. The United States champion is just a title. They don't got no respect for that belt. You know what I'm saying? They don't have no respect for any other belts. Let's be realistic. You know what I'm saying? So it's crazy. Then we had Brock Lesnar versus Oba Femi. I don't know what to say. How is it that Oba Femi beat the bricks out of Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania? And here comes Brock. His Oba Femi was 7 F5. This much was not good at all. It was F5 after F5 after F5 after F5. He even pulled a Kimura lock on Oba. And again, now a lot of people will say, "Oh no, that's gonna rise him even more because he's gonna do a comeback." But you just took Oba Femi, who had just beaten Brock Lesnar, supposedly made him retire. Okay, a guy who had a momentum going on just lost to Brock Lesnar with 7 F5s. Okay, and not only that, before he got attacked by Brock, they had him doing some Oba Femi challenge. Why? Why they didn't put him with somebody who he could start feuding with and you know, from here to what we got to Clash of Italy? They didn't do that. They had him beating up the Garza brothers, whatever their name is, and beating everybody. It was just ridiculous. So they did all this because they have no idea what else to put. Okay. Now you got Oba Femi in the King of the Ring, and most likely he may win King of the Ring. May. And don't be surprised if Seth Rollins wins this and gets a shot at Roman, because that is the rumor going around. Okay. And whatnot. If it's Roman versus Seth again, I know a lot of people in this chat will be pissed. You know what I'm saying? No one wants to see Seth Rollins against Roman Reigns. And then, I mean, I look at it because I know Roman Reigns has the belt that Seth never lost. Seth never lost that. But do we really want to see Roman versus Seth again? How many times are we going to watch that? We know the history of them in the Shield. No one cares. You know what I'm saying? No one cares. It's the same thing with the bloodline bullcrap. People are getting tired of that shit. People are like, no, that's the best thing ever happened. No one cares. You know what I'm saying? Justin said we all knew it was going to be a trilogy, but you really could have done that without ever being over. Exactly. I think the whole point is Oba should have never lost. It could have been a disqualification, something to that effect, but you had Brock Lesnar destroyed Oba Femi with 7. When I'm telling you about 7 F5s, and even threw him to the table, and Oba Femi just got up like nothing, only to get hit with the 7th F5. I mean, it don't make no sense. It doesn't make no sense because they're trying to squeeze the auras and take them as much juice as they can get. You know what I'm saying? Because they know that the fan base, the WWE fan base, will spend money to see this shit again. You think I want to see this shit again? Because I already know what the third one's going to be. The third one's going to be Oba Femi beating him, or better yet, Oba Femi making it to the finals of the King of the Ring and Brock costing him the King of the Ring, leading to SummerSlam. Remember, SummerSlam is a 2-day event this year, and then in Minnesota. Oh, they're gonna try to juice people as much as they can. You know what I'm saying? And over again, I mean, I was expecting. If I put it this way, I wasn't expecting Oba to win because I already knew what was gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? Even if he did a comeback, he did it, and I mean, the way the finish was stupid. 7 F5s. He could have done that shit at WrestleMania. Why are you fucking doing it at Clash of Italy? It didn't make no sense to me. It didn't make no sense. So Brock wins. Oba lose. Kind of slowed down his momentum. But now Brock said 1-1 done, meaning he doesn't want to wrestle him again. And Oba said, nope, we're not done. So Justice said Oba should have clean sweep Brock. Brock just feel like he never wants to give someone more than one moment before he takes the spotlight right back. I mean, This guy, he just, it's all bullcrap, to me. He said either Brock calls over the King of the Ring or Oba wins the King of the Ring. Oba gets a title shot. Brock calls over the match. That could happen too. But the question is, when is Oba going to get the title shot? Usually it's a SummerSlam, and I don't see that happening. I don't see that happening for the simple fact that I see Seth Rollins going against Roman. I know you guys hate it because you're tired of this whole Shield versus Shield shit, but I see that happening because now I'm thinking I'm going back. This time last year, or the year before, I think, Seth Rollins had the world title, and then he got hurt. You know what I'm saying? So he never lost the belt. So that is something to look forward to because now I believe that Brock is going to cost over the King of the Ring. You know what I'm saying? So, he called him a coward, whatever, but it is what it is. As Steven says, Saturday Night Main Event, maybe. Nah, Saturday Night Main Event. Nah, I doubt that because, when was the last time we saw a world title change in the Saturday Night Main Event? Brock coasting over any match makes no sense being Brock won the second match. If Oba had won, then it would have made more sense. But does WWE make sense? They haven't been making sense for a while. You know what I'm saying? And then everything for them, because of it's about pops and cheap pops and moments, nostalgia. Again, they don't care about what you want. They don't care what I want. They don't care about the matches that we would love to see. They don't care about none of that. They care about nostalgia, the advertising, taking your money. They don't care about none of that. They don't care about what you want. They don't. It's like Triple H said, if you don't like it, go F off. That's what he told the fans. Then we had Becky Lynch versus Sol Ruca. Now, I'm not too crazy about this Sol Ruca chick because it took about 3 weeks, 4 times, whatever, until she really hit that soul snatcher move that she called it because she's been botching it for a while. Now, they just did, Maxine Dupree move. That's what I call it. They gave this girl the belt too early, okay? Instead of giving her a chance to get better and learn the trade. But they didn't do that. Then when they gave her the belt just to give her the title of the first black female wrestler to win the Intercontinental title. Yes, she is mixed. She is half black, half white. So they went in that route because she hit the soul snatcher. And it's funny because I hate going to Twitter because I see stupid comments. People just making apologies. They're about, Sol Ruca is one of the best thing ever happened. She's the best thing that ever happened. This is the same girl that missed the soul snatching 3 times before she got the shit right. So some of these girls in NXT, and you know what? And I was talking about this also. They talk about how NXT got all these girls, good girls, whatever. But when they come to the main roster, a lot of them botch their moves. Something ain't right. And again, even my boy OPC, wherever he's at, shout out to him in Circle of Debate. He even says it. There is no house shows. So how are we supposed to have these girls get better? Not only that, but I heard during the podcast that I saw earlier when somebody said that Igor Dragunov is not getting over. He's not getting over because there is no house shows. You know what I'm saying? There is no house shows. You know what I'm saying? So how can these girls and these wrestlers get over and get better when you don't have house shows? You don't have house shows. So how are they supposed to get better? And then I hear these apologies, it's a business, and WWE this, and WWE is a business, but at the same time, you have to give these women they work, because at the end of the day, if you think about it, they have to do house shows so they could get better. How are they going to get over if you're not doing house shows? They were thinking about doing house shows. Now that they aren't. We have no idea. You know what I'm saying? So how are they going to get better if you don't have house shows? You gave this woman the title. For what? We all know that Becky Lynch is going to go and get the belt back. unless she gets into the feud with the referee. You know what I'm saying? So it's crazy. Who's here? Let me see. Steve said eventually Becky going to wrestle the refs. Jessica Carr. Becky's getting it back at SummerSlam. Yeah, that story with this referee is just getting boring already. That she should have been wrestled. What up, OPC? Exactly, he says. So I'm right, and mono, no house shows. Exactly, no house shows. Steven said, preach Henry, also cut the ticket price so people can afford to go to house shows. They ain't cutting the ticket price. They don't care. Like I said, they don't care about us. And there's a difference. That's where you see Tony Khan with their tickets and TKO with their tickets. They might be $30, $40, and the front might be $400 to be in the ringside. But let's be realistic. I'd rather spend $450 on front ringside to watch the pay-per-views that AEW does than that this shit that WWE do. You know what I'm saying? So is actually good. She just got no chemistry with Becky because this is the first time she worked with her. The first boss, it was in the moment. The second one was because Jess was too close. Then they got to practice. They got to practice, bro. That's what I'm saying. Like, house shows. House shows. And if Jessica Carr is in a spot that she's not supposed to be, then she's horrible as a referee then. Okay? Because I know for a fact referees got to know where in the spot they got to be at, this and this and that. Again, to me, I mean, honestly, if you look at a lot of these females, they come in from NXT, they go in there, they botch. They botch. There is no house shows. We never used to see this back in the days. You know what I'm saying? We never used to see this. But WWE doesn't care. So eventually, But Sol Ruca ended up winning the title. And to me, honestly, she's just holding it warm for Becky. Because they're doing the Maxine Dupree move. Okay? She's talking about, I can't wait to defend my belt. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, that belt, it's not going to last too long on her. She'll probably lose that in Night of Champions. And a matter of fact, I say Night of Champions. I don't even think she's making it to SummerSlam. You know what I'm saying? They doing the Maxine Dupree move. The difference is Maxine can't wrestle, so they had to practice for two weeks ahead of her matches. At least Sol Ruca can wrestle. She has to get better with that soul snatching move. She has to get better. Either she has to work with whoever she's going to wrestle to know when she could hit that move. You know what I'm saying? So, again, I got nothing against the girl because when I first saw her in December, she beat, I think it was Bailey. I was impressed. But the two times that I seen her afterwards, where she missed it and botched it, I don't know. I mean, I hope she has a nice little title ring, but we know how WWE works. They cannot have their favorites without no title. We know that. You know what I'm saying? Becky Lynch is one of their favorites. Now you see Charlotte's going after Rhea Ripley. You know what I'm saying? And whatnot. And now this word that Rhea Ripley's hurt. If Rhea Ripley is hurt, she got to give up the belt again. What are we doing? People getting hurt because they don't have house shows. Okay? And nobody can say anything worse than that because no house shows, this is where all the injuries come from. Okay? Now, I know AEW doesn't have house shows and whatnot, but at least with AEW, if someone gets hurt, somebody steps up. And we're still going to have good matches. You know what I'm saying? But here, one person breaks out. Now, who's the next one that's going to step up? You know what I'm saying? So, we don't know. Then the main event, of course, it was Roman Reigns against Jacob Fatu. That tribal match, whatever, the tribal combat, whatever, that shit was garbage. It's those tribal combat matches are never good. Might as well call it a hardcore match because, I mean, through the whole wrestling match, and the one thing I'm not liking what they're doing with Jacob Fatu is they putting him too much with this, the claw, whatever they call that. You know what I'm saying? He's too invested in that. Jacob Fatu is better than that. He could wrestle, he could fly all over the place, and they fucking taking away his wrestling skill all because in the Tonga grip. You know what I'm saying? He's too focused on that shit. And the fact that I saw him lose, and then Monday Night Raw, you see Jacob Fatu going down one lane like he was proposing to Roman Reigns, give me my ring, okay? And then not only that, at Clash of Italy, after he lost, you see the MFT there. I was like, are we having another stupid war with MFT against the Roman Reigns bloodline? Are we really gonna see that again? You know what I'm saying? You ain't got the tribal chief. You don't have the how you call it, Paul Heyman in there anymore. Then to top it off, I'm seeing a promo where he's telling Jay, "Oh, you should go after the SmackDown belt." Please tell me they're not gonna try to do that project again. Jay Uso as a world champion. Are we doing this shit again? No one cares about Jay Uso or his ye bullshit. You know what I'm saying? So this is why people are just like not happy with WWE. They're not. Shit is exhausting. It's true, Justin. Very exhausting. It's just so exhausting over with the bloodlines that we're getting nothing new from it. WWE is just upset with this story because of them. They haven't had their conclusion they want. Rock versus Roman. Not only that. Now think about it, Justin. This is the Shield all over again. Remember when they couldn't have, they needed to have the Shield have get-togethers all the time. You know what I'm saying? They did this shit from like 2015 to like 2019. And it stopped during 2020 when, you know, the COVID and all that stuff. Then they started the bloodline shit. And it's the bloodline, people are like, oh no, I'm not over it. A lot of people like this shit. This shit is boring already. We saw the peak of the bloodline, and that's when Cody and Roman had their story. We're looking at, again, we're looking to see Sol Ruca trying to get Jacob Fatu to join him. What are we doing? What are we doing? You know? And you know, like I said, I'm not one to, you know, talk crap out of nowhere because I despise WWE. I don't despise WWE. I'm disappointed on all the laziness. They laziness. Let's be realistic. The main event, I already knew it was gonna happen. The match was not good at all. The Backlash match was better than this. You know what I'm saying? And then, like I said, I just saw it's like now I noticed they're taking Jacob Fatu wrestling moves for him to use the Tonka Death Grip every 5 minutes. Are we kidding me? Come on, man. Like, this man is a monster. I seen him wrestle live. House of Glory shows. I seen him at MLW. You know what I'm saying? I saw him in New Japan Pro Wrestling. This guy's the man. And then now they limiting his moves so he could do the Tonga Death Grip? Really? This is what we doing? You know what I'm saying? And right now, let's be realistic. WWE's being lazy. It's being lazy. This Clash of the Champion, even though, you know, Bleacher Report gave it a B+, everybody else gave it a B+, I give it a C. I give it a C. I mean, there was the match of the night. I'm probably going to give it maybe the Rhea Ripley and Jade Cargill. Because that match, they gave them, I think, how many minutes they gave them? I think 17 minutes. They gave them 16 minutes and 57 seconds. And speaking about that, I know for sure. I know before I even say, let me see what it says. No, you don't watch NXT Henry, but I enjoy NXT and AAA more than Raw and SmackDown. At least you're doing house shows. NXT I don't watch because NXT there's nobody there. I mean, I'm interested what's gonna happen with Evil. I still call him Evil from New Japan and Rook. They're supposed to wrestle for the number one contender for the D'Angelo's NXT, which is very interesting. Other than that, I don't. And AAA, I mean, after seeing that match last week and whatnot with the Gran Americano, that's probably one of the top 5 match of the year. AAA, I will have to be into it. I'm more into CMLL. So, and then again, Undertaker's running that, but again, he hit a gold mine with that Americano storyline. And, you know, the Americano now, Louis Kaiser, if he doesn't beat Dominic Mysterio, then I don't know what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? If he wins that belt, They better have a backup. Let me put it this way: when it comes to AAA, if Americano wins the AAA Mega Championship, they better have other good storylines afterwards. Because if they don't, you can't build this big thing going on like you did with Americano. You hit a gold mine with that, and now you're gonna follow that up with Dominic against Louis Kaiser. You better hit another landmine and then follow it up with another landmine or gold mine. Actually, you know what I'm saying? You can't, because you run out of ideas, you're in trouble. You know what I'm saying? So again, NXT, I really don't. NXT, the only reason they're a little better is because they're taking advantage of TNA, which I'm going to talk about in a few minutes. But overall, this Clash of Italy, it was all right. It wasn't something that I will go back and watch it. I will not go back and watch it, to be honest. And speaking about TNA, the word around is now that they can't even sell tickets for the TNA's anniversary. And then I saw Vince Russo and Jonathan Coachman in their podcast asking the question, is TNA benefiting from WWE? And they not. Because right now, and this is a question I asked a week ago, TNA is having a problem when it comes to creative. Second of all, the fact that you can't sell ticket on your biggest show, Slammiversary, you're having issues of getting ticket, and then WWE is not helping you, it's troublesome. Now, people will be like, oh, how did you lying? WWE is going to help TNA. No, they're not. Because if you've noticed, June 28th, we're going to have three pay-per-views. The first one, we're going to have NXT Great American Bash. Why? Don't know why. And it's going to be on Channel 11 here in New York. So I think it's going to be free. Then TNA has this anniversary. Their show now has to be in the afternoon, right? Unless they're going to move it to some other date. Then we have AEW Forbidden Door. Out of those three shows, which one you think I'm going to watch? Because there's no way in the world I'm going to watch no Great American Bash. Because I don't watch nothing that WWE does. They took WCW, pay-per-views to name it for NXT. Okay. TNA, I'm not watching TNA. There's nothing in TNA that interests me at all. Okay. And now Forbidden Door, that's going to be crazy because the story is being lined up for that show is ridiculous. Okay. Most likely we'll see MJF versus Andrade El Idolo. And I'm looking forward to that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's crazy. Doesn't it feel like WWE has completely forgotten about the partnership with TNA? No one has appeared on either show for months. Yeah, you know why? I'm going to tell you why. They got the people they wanted. They got Jordan Grace. They got Joe Henry. Who else they got? And now they're about to get Mike Santana. Mike Santana's about to lose his belt, and he's going to go to WWE. He's going to be a lost soul in there. You know what I'm saying? And I love Mike Santana, but they're going to put him in NXT and whatnot, and he'll be there for months and whatnot. And they got the people they wanted. What is the best excuse I have heard since last year when it came to the TNA? I always bring up how Joe Henry got pinned by Randy Orton in 3 minutes. Mind you, that Joe Henry was the world champion at the time. And he got pinned within 3 minutes. People say, oh, he wasn't buried. What you mean he was buried? It advances his talent. It moved him to... No, it didn't. What is Joe Henry doing now? Getting attacked by the Vision? He ain't doing nothing. He's the next, how you call it? He's the next Elijah, whatever his name was, with the guitar. Singing stupid songs about Logan Paul. Okay? Do you think Santana really main roster of WWE, or should he go to NXT? Santana should go to NXT. He should go to NXT. You don't want to go up there thinking that you're the man. You're not the man. First of all, then Santana came wrestle on Trick Williams, and they had Trick Williams beat him a couple of times. You know what I'm saying? Santana's going to be another guy that they're going to have in there. Maybe he'll win the Intercontinental title. Maybe he'll win the United States title. See him win the world title? I don't know. As much as I like Mike Santana, the way WWE runs their thing, look, TNA is in trouble. That's what I'm gonna tell you about right now. Okay, the only thing you got left, if you lose Mike Santana to WWE, who you got in there who is going to be the face of TNA? It's not Steve Macklin. That shit had on him a long time ago. You know what I'm saying? And this is why I laugh, because sometimes I hear Bubba Ray Dudley, Tommy Dreamer. Tommy Dreamer claims, oh, we're doing great. They're not doing great. TNA right now, especially Carlos Silva. This dude has no fucking clue how to run a business. Okay? He doesn't have a clue. He is Nick Khan's puppet. That's what he is. You know what I'm saying? Nick Nemeth, I mean, come on. That's Dolph Ziggler when he was in WWE. Well, how he did there. How they treated him like shit. He came back for a one-night event at Madison Square Garden. Got pinned. That's how much they think about Nick Nemeth. They don't care. They don't care. You know what I'm saying? TNA is in trouble. Okay? People keep saying, I saw some video, and I put it on my X, so you guys can check it out. One of the guys from Elegance, whatever, he's a jobber. He ends up pinning the TNA Knockouts champion. How enough is that even allowed? Because Carlos Silva does not know what he's doing. We have another, what we call another Dixie Carter, who don't know shit about wrestling. This guy comes out on TV with a stupid TNA hat, okay, with goofy ass glasses, thinks he's doing something for TNA. No, he's not. The fact that you got mad because AEW went and put Collision on Thursday because the network put it that way, okay, they had no control over it, and you went and had your wrestler Nick Nemeth not cancel the match against MJF, shows you what he's a freaking puppet. He don't know what the hell he's doing. He don't know what he's doing. And TNA is going to suffer. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and yeah, he sits in the ringside not doing a damn thing. Steve Macklin went up to him and told him something in the match and told him to sit his ass down. And he laughed like the shit was a joke. He's another wannabe Tony Khan. And Tony Khan don't do that shit anymore. Tony Khan, when was the last time you saw Tony Khan on TV? That was the night when the Young Buck caught him, Okada, and Jack Perry beat him up and gave him the Meltzer driver. You haven't seen Tony Khan on TV unless they're gonna announce something, and they don't even do that anymore. When they used to do announcements all the time, they don't do that shit anymore. But I also show you AEW has learned from the mistakes. But yet you got people talking shit about AEW, right? But meanwhile, WWE's giving you this. This is what they're giving you. They're giving you this. They claim they're helping TNA. They're focusing more on AAA. If you think about it, AAA is much better than TNA. Okay, and here's a scoop. From what I'm hearing and from what I read, Tessa Blanchard has been working with CMML. She's been seeing. I think she's dating somebody from CMML. I forgot who she's dating, but she's dating for somebody from CMML. Okay. Not only that, but she wrestled a CMML against somebody, I think somebody from AEW or some shit like that. And TNA is mad and whatnot. But you don't want to push that little girl or that hot Italian chick, because she's gonna flip out and she's gonna end up leaving. Yeah, you know why people are always gonna talk shit about AEW. And they haven't even watched nothing. And they just watch to hate. Me and Mike De Niro talked about this in our last episode we had on the review on the Double or Nothing. They watch to hate. They don't care. They probably don't even watch the matches. They'll be like, oh, look at stupid shit. Oh, this makes no sense. But meanwhile, they're not watching what WWE is doing. They think WWE is doing the greatest thing in the world. So, but enough of me ranting here and whatnot. But again, this Clash of Italy was not that great. I'm gonna keep it honest. It was the match of the night. I'm gonna say, crazy as it is. It was Jade Cargill and Rhea Ripley. And to top it off, I forgot to talk about that. I keep forgetting to talk about how B-Fab missed Jade Cargill's foot and had to reach to get her foot. Luckily, did Jade Cargill put her foot in there on the ropes? These girls, why is B-Fab? These girls can't wrestle for shit. Mitchell's another one who just done, all she's done is just surgery in her face. No improvement with any of these girls. So anybody can say anything they want, but I'm pointing out stuff and whatnot. As far as when it comes to the females, and I can't even say. I think right now with all the females in there, Liv Morgan has not defended her belt. She's walking around. She's another Jade Cargill, not defending her belt. And now she's in, which makes no sense. She's in the Queen of the Ring because she's trying to win the whole Queen of the Ring so she don't have to defend her belt in SummerSlam. Again, stories that do not make sense. They don't make sense. So let me know what you think, guys. Again, you guys want to follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel and whatnot. We're gunning for 1,500. We need about 20 more. Let's go. Share this podcast, share this episode with your friends and whatnot. Let them know about the Chokeslam Wrestling Report. We also got a t-shirt website. We got hats, hoodies. Go to tcwr.veryimpressive.com. That's tcwr.veryimpressive.com. And we're also available on TikTok. So, you know what I'm saying? And also, we are part of the Debate Network, Circle of Debate. And like I said, my boy Redeemer, Justin, my man is on almost every single day with watch-alongs. And we have Monday Night Raw. We have NXT. We have AEW Dynamite. We have what else? TNA Wrestling, SmackDown, and AEW Collision. So he is always on one of these watch-alongs. Look, I don't think the guy sleeps, to be honest. I think if he sleeps, he dreams about wrestling. So, but yeah. So show some love to him. Show some love to the Circle of Debate and whatnot. Top Row Talk, Chaos, Chaotic Chaos. You know what I'm saying? Of course, the Chokeslam Wrestling Report. You know what I'm saying? Show us love. I will appreciate it. Also, next week is our 300 episode. I do not know what I'm going to do, but I'm trying 300 episode. This has been a long 7-year journey. I did the 7th anniversary last week. You guys missed it. Go check it out. We did the Double or Nothing review with Mike De Niro and All Elite Dirt Sheet and whatnot. So check that out and whatnot. So next week is our 300 episode. I do not know what I'm going to do, but I'll come up with something. I'll figure something out. So for now, let me know what you think about this this episode. Do you think Oba Femi should have not lost his match against Brock Lesnar? Was it a waste of time to see Roman beat Jacob Fatu for the second time? And it's Jacob Fatu. They need to stop with this fucking tongue death grip. Is reducing his wrestling skills and whatnot. And do you see Sol Ruca with a long reign as Intercontinental champion, or she just warming it up for Becky Lynch to get it back and whatnot? And do you think Jade Cargill deserves another title shot at Rhea Ripley? And if Rhea Ripley is hurt, do you think she's going to vacate the belt again? There's a lot of questions. Let me know what you think, guys. And I will see you guys next week for the 300th episode of the Chokeslam Wrestling Report.